People Describe There is a series where people open up and share their stories with the internet. Episode 8, People Describe Their Intimate Hygiene. There are a few wonderful people who are involved in this video. We're going to talk to you about our intimate care, intimate hygiene, and ingrown hair experiences.
I would say I feel pretty comfortable talking about intimate hygiene. I think it's a natural part of everyday life, and I think it's something that should be covered more.
I don't think it should be a taboo topic, and I'd say that I'm more comfortable about talking about it.
I feel extremely comfortable talking about intimate hygiene. I don't know what it is, but something about growing up as an only child with no older sisters and also being the oldest cousin in my family, I have had to figure these things out myself. I think that has definitely driven me to the point where I am at right now with my career and the fact that I literally talk about my vagina on the internet.
I think intimate hygiene is something that is somewhat taboo still. I don't know why, because obviously as long as you're making sure you're clean and not actually unsanitary, it's fine. Natural odor can be really appealing. I love the way my partner smells, for example. I think he feels the same about me. Yeah, as long as you're actually clean and using a really gentle soap and never go up and in. Just as long as you're actually cleaning yourself and making sure that you're not dirty and grubby, then that's fine, that's great.
I definitely think that it is still a taboo topic. I feel like in school we aren't necessarily educated enough. Therefore, it can be scary to talk about it with your friends or your family because you might think you're the only one. In actual fact, it's so important to talk about because everybody has to go through intimate hygiene. It's something that we all do. It's so normal, so why shouldn't we make it normalised?
I definitely think it's still a taboo topic. Though I feel like with the internet and just how everything's moving in recent years, I do feel like it's becoming less taboo. It depends on the generation of people who you're talking to about it. Older generations are definitely more hush-hush about anything intimate. I'm a millennial. I'm 28, so I feel like my generation is just like scraped the point where we're becoming more comfortable talking about things. And the younger generation, I feel like they're becoming more open as well. Because of the rise of social media platforms like TikTok, I have learnt so much on TikTok, and I feel like many people have also learnt more on TikTok than they ever learnt in school. I feel like more people are starting to talk about it, so the taboo is slowly breaking down, but it's definitely still very taboo.
But I do think it's still quite taboo. On a very baseline level, kind of anything to be spoken about intimate areas is still quite taboo in a lot of ways. I think it's so important to have these conversations and to have them with your peers, your family. From quite a young age, I was very open about talking about intimate areas because it was something that kind of hadn't ever really been spoken about in my life. I think especially with things like shaving down there, like obviously it can cause some irritation and stuff. I've never really had ingrown hairs or anything, but I find that when something happens down there, there's this immediate panic because I feel like we're not taught a lot. So if something goes wrong, you assume the worst, when it could be as simple as like just like an ingrown hair or some irritation from the way you used your razor.
For those who do like to use products down there, it's important to go with brands like Wildmint, whose mission is to create products that support intimate hygiene and help intimate skin concerns. They really just want to help people feel more confident and comfortable in themselves, and I can appreciate that, as I understand how it can really knock your confidence when you've got rashes or ingrown hairs down there.
Introducing Wildmint's Superfood Intimate Care Kit, a 4-step natural solution for ingrown hairs, irritation and razor bumps. Use Goji Glow to gently exfoliate your bikini line, buff away dead skin and prevent ingrown hairs and dark spots. The Healing Intimate Oil is suitable for anyone needing extra TLC post-shave for their intimate areas. This healing spot treatment gel will help relieve razor bumps, sensitivity or redness. Wildmint is cruelty-free, 100% vegan and suitable for sensitive skin. They also offer a 60-day money-back guarantee and plant a tree for every order. Could it get any better? If you'd like to share your skin journey, please join Wildmint's movement, #WM Skin Stories. I hope you love them as much as I do, so check them out using the link below.
Personally, I don't have some massive intimate hygiene routine just because I like to keep it pretty simple. I don't like to use many products down there just because I know it's not always great for your pH balance. I just literally use water to clean down there. That's literally all I do because I don't like using that many products.
My intimate hygiene routine honestly really depends on the day. For example, today I had the day off work. I haven't actually showered today, and that's okay. I'm not gonna see anyone, I'm not gonna do anything, I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'll probably shower tomorrow, and I probably won't shower today, and that's fine. For intimate care, I literally just use like a femme fresh equivalent kind of thing, and that's me done. I don't do anything special.
My intimate hygiene routine is pretty simple, to be honest. I have been taking probiotics, which are very good for your vaginal health. Whether that's a part of intimate hygiene, it's not really, but it kind of is, because it's working on your vagina from the inside out, you know. When it comes to actually physically cleaning, I use a washcloth just with water. I start on my right flap, I hold the middle bit and I open that flap, clean in there, and then I go to the other side, hold the middle with this hand now, clean in that flap, and then I spread it and clean around my clit area, because it is extremely important to clean around your clit area. Not everybody knows that, and it's okay that you don't know that, but now you know that, so do clean there as well. Just be as gentle as you possibly can, because of course it's very sensitive. Some people like to use soaps, and that's absolutely fine. Only if you're using pH balanced, fragrance free, probiotic friendly, intimate care wash. Like, that is what you should use if you insist on using some kind of wash down there. I've recently started using treatments for ingrown hairs and shaving rash. I've literally started that recently, so that has now been added to my intimate care routine. Now I'm going to see how it goes. I'm really hoping it's going to help.
In regards to like a routine, I try to keep it quite simple. I keep things kind of tidy, like when I shave, and I don't use anything except like water and only kind of natural, not even really soap a lot of the time, but just to clean the outer area, obviously not inside. I also do find I'm kind of sensitive, so if I used any sort of soap, I would be nervous that it would kind of trigger something, so I just kind of try to keep water, and if I am using a soap, just kind of a natural clean soap only on the outside. It's really important to me to keep those areas clean, but also I think it's something, again, that we need to discuss more, because things like discharge, like, we're not taught in my school. So then when I kind of was dealing with discharge as a young teenager, I thought there was something wrong, as opposed to realising that it was just a normal part of having a vagina, basically.
I just keep trim. I don't use anything fancy. I use a razor, always with the hair, never against the hair. Ingrown hairs are a pain in the butt. In my experience with them, which I have had a lot of, especially when I was younger and had no idea what I was doing, I always use like a salicylic acid cleanser only on the front, never internal, always external only. Exfoliation also is something that I think is really helpful with ingrown hairs. Also, if you feel you're getting an ingrown hair, you can just tweeze it. I like how I maintain myself, and that's all that's important to me. And if someone has a problem with that, they can get out.
If I'm honest, I've never really experienced any irritation down there, but I have experienced ingrown hairs before, and usually the best way to solve this is I just leave them. Or I know people shouldn't say this, but I might squeeze them. But apart from that, that's all I've had experience with.
Yes, I have experienced ingrown hairs, shaving rash, spots down there. It's not a fun time, honestly, it's really not. I used to have a bush, and since then I started shaving. So the ingrown hairs and shaving rash has been real. 9 times out of 10 when I'm shaving down there, I use a clean blade, a clean razor. I make sure that I'm not shaving every single day. I do not do that. I do it like maybe once a week, if that. Yeah, like I said, 9 times out of 10 I put on a fresh blade. But if I've just changed the blade like 2 days ago and I've shaved my legs, I'm not gonna change the blade again. But in an ideal world, I would, because it is best to shave down there with a fresh, clean blade. Make sure that you use your shaving creams or gels or whatever, but also make sure that that is pH balanced and good for you as well. Shaving rash is a real issue, and it annoys me.
Not to worry so much. Your first boyfriend when you were 16 probably didn't care. The older I've become, I have felt that my opinion, as well as the opinion of men, I feel like men have changed, or at least the men I know have changed. My first partner, our experiences prior to each other was, I guess, porn, and how people look in porn is not how people look in real life. I have many times had a pimple halfway up my butt cheek, or like right at the front of my pubis, and I think now things are a lot more realistic, which is great. But also I think people just grow not to care. Would I care tomorrow if my partner walked in the room and had like a huge pimple right next to his dick. Absolutely not. I couldn't give a fuck. If you're at the point in a relationship or any form of intimacy where you are in front of a person's genitals, it doesn't matter. Pubic hair does not matter. As long as you are hygienic, that's all that matters, in my opinion.
You don't need to use soap down there. You don't need to use perfume down there. Maybe educate yourself a bit more, because school isn't going to. Find out what works best for you and stick with that. It's actually normal for it to not smell like roses. Obviously, if it smells too extreme, obviously you may have a problem. It's not embarrassing, it's normal. Don't fix what isn't broken.
The advice I'd give to my younger self would be get into the crevices, because younger me did not know about cleaning your clit area. So I would definitely tell my younger self, make sure you're cleaning that clit area, because otherwise you're going to get clit cheese and you don't want that. I'm going to second what Paris said and say you do not need to use perfume, body spray, deodorant, anything down there, okay? Because that is something I did do. I would like give a little spray down there. Like, especially if I was about to go on a date or see someone, you know, in that kind of way. I don't really think this is a part of intimate hygiene, but I would say this is more intimate care, to be honest. I always sleep without underwear. Never, ever, ever sleep with underwear, unless I'm on my period. Then that's just a whole different ballgame, of course. It is so important to let your vagina breathe. Something I really wish that I knew when I was a teenager was the importance of going for a pee after you do the do, you know, when you having sexy time. It is extremely important to pee afterwards, because it flushes out any bacteria that has swam up there during fun playtime, okay? I had countless UTIs, so many spouts of cystitis, and I never understood why. I never knew why. It was just absolutely horrible, and I do not wish cystitis upon anyone. It's honestly awful.
I think the conversation around intimate hygiene in general just needs to open up more. It's very normal. It's as normal as washing any other body part. Again, it's like not something that I think is taught very well. Obviously, you're taught to be clean and to make sure that, you know, you don't stink, but in regards to how that area is and how, you know, there's certain products you shouldn't use. I remember being like a young teenager and thinking, oh god, like down there smells really bad, but it didn't. It was just natural. Like, it's not meant to smell like rose petals and daisies. And I bought a aerosol, like a feminine aerosol for down there. It stung, and it is actually like really dangerous. Like, it can give you a lot of infections and stuff. So I just really wish there was more education around that and more conversation, because then I feel like we wouldn't have 13, 14-year-old girls walking into pharmacies and buying aerosols for their vulvas.
Thank you so much to Wild Mint for sponsoring this video. Please check the link in the description to find out a bit more about them and use my code, which is on the screen right now, for a little discount. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions, concerns, or just any general comments, please leave them down below and I'll get back to you.